How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. We also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about GME, which had a strong day inside the market. But before we get started, of course, we got to go over an agenda. If you're new to this channel, just want to let you know we have timestamps down below in the description. But do keep in mind, if you are a shareholder like myself, then you might want to watch the entire video because there's a lot of value in it. So the first thing we're going to be going over, of course, is a technical analysis, taking a look at the price action. We talked about some key levels in regards to 225. And if you were watching the charts and you were keeping up to date, you can see that was an area of support. But again, make sure you watch the technicals because it will help you out. And then the second thing is we're going to be taking a look at the recent institutional ownership. Are more institutions beginning to load up? And then also we want to know, what is the short interest? What is the short volume ratio? We know this has an impact on the stock, so it's key for us to get all of the details. And then when we do that, then when we do all of that, then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know diamond hands versus weak hands. I feel this is key so we know what the volume was looking like for today. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's get into it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for GME. So it ended up closing the day at $254.13, being up 4.77% on the day. On the low, it tested $227, and then on the high, testing $264. So before we get started, we want to see how it's lining up with our indicators. So it is well above the 100-day, well above the 200-day, and it's well above the 21-day EMA. If we take a look at the RSI, it is red hot. It is well above right in that 80 level. So this is not surprising because as we've seen, GME has been on quite the run. We've talked about particular areas that we want to look out for. We see that this 225 level that I mentioned is doing a great job holding itself up, and it's shown to be an area of support today. This is part of the reasons why you guys need to watch the technical analysis so you have a game plan. Also, we knew about the 250 level. If it gets past 260, then what we want to look for is the 260s, and that's exactly where it went. So as far as for tomorrow, I want to see 275. I want to see 275 being tested, and if we can get past 275 with a lot of volume and a lot of buying pressure, we can easily get that move going into the 280s and then essentially get into 300. I want to see this happen before the end of next week. If it happens tomorrow, of course, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be smiling. Congratulations to those who also have been buying and holding. But hey, this is the game plan. This is what we want to look for. So what I want to see before the end of close and after hours today, it'll be great to see if GME can hold up this $250 level. If it's able to do this, then we could definitely get into that 270 level come tomorrow or sometime next week. So now on Fintel, we're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for GME. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So if we take a look at May the 27th alone for GME, it is definitely looking very bullish amongst institutions. Out of all of them, we only had one institution, which was Shellback Capital, showing them weak hands, closing out their position fully. Aside from that, we have no institutions who have been minimizing their positions. They've been adding even more. So this is definitely great to see and will add to the bullish movements that we are seeing in GME. If we take a look now at the short interest information, as you can see, the short volume ratio is at 22%, and this is taking into consideration the close from yesterday. So what does this mean? It is above 21%, so even higher chance chance of a short squeeze. As we scroll down on this page, short shares availability stands at 250,000 and the short ball free rate stands at 0.98%. If we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, it is used to being above 21. So this is definitely good to see, but it also does tell us that there's negative market sentiment in regard to GME. They're saying, hey, the price should be a lot lower than what it is. But again, we have people who are buying and they are holding shares. So part of the reasons why we're seeing the strong movement in GME, we're also seeing a lot of FOMO. A lot of people who thought the run was over are now getting in. We also have more active traders in there as well. So because of all of this, you put this in one pot, you're going to end up seeing some strong movements, and this is what I like seeing, and I want to see it continue in regards to tomorrow and as well as next week. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for GME. Like I was saying, we want to see the weak hands versus the diamond hands and how the buying volume was for today. So on the inflow, we had 612, and then on the outflow, we had 617. So for inflow, we had 8 that were large, 604 that were medium, and 0 that were small. And then on the outflow side, we had 15 for large, medium, we had 602. If we look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, we could see a ton of selling going on right here, big time outflow. This is also something to keep in mind of the fact a lot of weak hands, a lot of people selling out, a lot of people who are locking in and taking profits. Hey, I'm not mad at this, but what does this also tell us? The stock price actually went up today. It had a strong day. So that means there's a lot of people who are holding stock and they're also buying up. Even though the outflow surpassed it, we ended up seeing moves to the upside. So what does this tell us? This can continue. I'm looking forward to seeing GME get to $300, but of course, I want to see it in that 275 level come tomorrow. But anyways, you know what? Let me get into the final thoughts and we'll talk even more about that. So for my final thoughts for GME, I'm going to say, like I said in my AMC video, short sellers are getting smoked. And what's very interesting, the short volume ratio is still above 21%. So what does this mean? Still some short squeeze potential in GME. We haven't been seeing a short squeeze as of yet, but when it does happen, I know it's going to be epic. I also want to send a shout out to all of my apes and all of my people who are holding, and also all of my people who are actually trading and making profits off of this stock. I do want to also emphasize the fact, if you're in this particular play, as far as the money that you are investing with it, I want to make sure you're investing wisely. Do not be putting your rent money in there, your bill money in there, and so forth. You got to be able to wait this thing out if you have to. You don't want to have to be panic selling or selling at a loss because you need to get that money. I want to really emphasize this because I do care about the well-being for you guys in the stock market. Like I said in previous videos, the stock market is a place where you make money, not lose money. So be prepared for even more volatility. But the good thing is we see that GME is holding up key support levels. We talked about how important it was, and I've been talking about this for so long on this channel, that 225 area. What did it do? It used it as an area of support. Then we talked about 250 being a key area as well. So now for tomorrow, I want to look out for that 275. If we get to 300, that is great. But in regards to next week, I'm not mad about even getting to 300 at that time. But do keep in mind of the fact I want to see 275. We've been good on our predictions so far, and like I said, I just see still more room for upside. So congratulations to everyone who's in this play and who's making money, and we'll talk real soon.